Scrambled by Raveny13. Son of a mother trucker! Sanji paused outside the galley door. He was about to start making breakfast for the crew, but your frustrated voice coming from within his domain surprised him. He carefully pushed open the door. You were kneeling on the floor, surrounded by cracked eggs. A whisk rested limply in your grasp. A floorboard creaked under Sanji's shoe, and you looked up with a gasp, tears rapidly filling your wide eyes. Your lower lip quivered slightly. "I'm so sorry, Sanji," you cried. Sanji nearly melted at the cute sight. "It's all right, my dove," he said softly. You blinked in confusion, droplets clinging to your lashes. But I wasted food!" He stepped closer, nimbly avoiding the mess, and knelt beside you. Gently tugging the whisk from your grip, he laid it on the floor and raised your hand to his lips. "It's all right," he repeated quietly, pressing a kiss against it, his one visible blue eye fixed upon yours. A shiver ran up your spine. This was a different Sanji than the one who fawned over Nami, Robin, and you during the day. Your cheeks heated up, and you pushed yourself to your feet, suddenly flustered. I should probably go take a shower," you blurted, rushing out of the room. Sanji watched you leave, sighing wistfully. His heart pounded furiously in his chest. One of these days he'd be able to tell you how he felt about you, but he supposed it wouldn't be today. He sighed again and started cleaning up the eggs you dropped. Your heart hammered against your rib cage as you pressed your back into the bathroom door. That didn't go as planned. Nami lied. She said that Sanji wouldn't wake up until 6, so you got started just before 5. Apparently, Sanji wakes up at 5. You just needed to wake up earlier next time, and not trip over your own feet while carrying the eggs. You wanted to make breakfast for Sanji. He always waited for everyone else to finish before eating in the mornings, and you thought it was sad. He deserved better, but he was always putting his own needs to the side. You clutched your hand to your chest. It still tingled slightly from Sanji's kiss. Your stomach fluttered. He had caught you off guard. You hoped he didn't consider your retreat a rejection. During breakfast, you stared steadfastly at your plate. You couldn't look Sanji in the eye or you'd be reminded of that morning. You ate quickly and fled the room before anyone could question you. You should have known better. Nami and Robin exchanged a look. Later in the day, they cornered you in the library. Nami sat beside you, nudging your shoulder. "So, how did this morning go?" she asked with a smirk. You felt your face heat up. I tripped and dropped the eggs," you confessed quietly. Nami's face paled. Everyone on the ship knew how Sanji was about wasted food. "Oh dear," Robin said. Your voice slipped higher as you continued. "Sanji didn't get upset, though." Nami raised her eyebrows, and your blush deepened. He told me it was all right, and he kissed my hand." You blurted out the words and buried your face in your hands. Peeking between your fingers, you saw that Nami was grinning. "Usopp owes me 1,000 berry," she declared triumphantly. Sanji was stress-baking. You were avoiding him. Did he overstep? Did you hate him now? He set the 4th batch of sugar cookies to the side to cool and placed the 5th batch in the oven. He crossed to the window, lighting up his 3rd cigarette. His eyes followed the trail of smoke as it dissipated into the open air, and he released a drawn-out sigh. His heart was all twisted around. Yes, he loved all women, but you made him feel different. He wanted to see you smile, make you laugh. A timid knock on the galley door startled him out of his thoughts, and he frowned. Nobody ever knocked. "Who is it?" he called out, but there was no response. Maybe Luffy and Usopp were pulling some kind of prank on him again. He stomped over to the door and yanked it open, finding nothing but a slip of paper fluttering in the wind. He snatched it out of the air before it could fly away. "Meet me in the crow's nest tonight." The note was written in your handwriting. He wasn't sure what to make of it. Were you going to confess your love, or reject him in private? He didn't know. Suddenly, the slight scent of singed sugar drifted past. The cookies! Rushing back inside, he managed to save them, but just barely. He'd give those ones to Luffy. You were nervous as you sat on the bench in the crow's nest. It was Nami's idea, and part of you wanted to run away again. The sun had just lowered beyond the horizon. You smoothed the fabric of your skirt. Was it too much? Was Sanji going to show up? What would you say if he did? You had nothing planned. Maybe this was a mistake. You stood up to leave, just as the trap door swung open. His back was to you as he pulled himself into the room, and you saw the fabric of his dress shirt strain over his biceps. His sleeves were rolled up to the elbow. It was strange for you, seeing Sanji dressed so casually outside of washing dishes. He turned to face you, and you noticed the top 2 buttons of his shirt were undone, allowing you the slightest peek at his chest beneath. You unconsciously wet your lips. Sanji had spent the last half an hour pacing in the kitchen. He checked the time again. When did tonight start? What if he went too early? What if he arrived too late? He unbuttoned the top of his shirt to help him breathe. He was starting to sweat, so he rolled up his sleeves as well. He decided to wait until after sundown. That usually signified night, right? Staring up at the rope ladder, he released a sigh and started to climb. He could sense a single presence above him. When he pushed open the trapdoor, his eyes scanned across the room. You weren't in that half, so you had to be behind him. Mentally crossing his fingers, he faced you. And he felt as though the soul left his body. You were wearing a skirt, a short one that showed off your legs. He swallowed and met your gaze. You looked as nervous as he felt. "I'm sorry about this morning," you blurted out. "I told you, don't worry about the egg." You shook your head. "I meant about running away." Your cheeks were rosy already. "I just got really flustered by you, and I wasn't sure how to react, so I ran. I'm sorry." You twisted the bottom of your blouse in your hands. Struck with sudden confidence, Sanji crossed the floor, gently prying apart your hands to hold one. "And if I flustered you again, would you still run away?" he asked, gazing into your eyes. Your mouth felt dry, and your heart rate spiked. "That depends," you murmured, holding his gaze. "Are you going to kiss me again?" He brought his other hand to your chin, lifting it slightly. His breath ghosted against your lips, sending a shiver down your spine. "That depends, my dove. Would you like me to?" "Yeah." Crash! You both jumped apart, dropping into defensive stances. Usopp stood beside the knocked-over weight rack, face drained of blood. He scrambled to pick up a random item from the ground before retreating toward the hatch. "Zoro said he left his bandana in here, so I was just getting it for him. I saw nothing!" He disappeared below. Sanji walked over and locked the hatch, while you sat on the bench to calm your racing heart. He sat beside you awkwardly. After a few minutes of silence, he asked, "Are you all right?" You nod. "Yeah, I was just startled. I'm okay." Sanji's fingers twitched, wanting to reach for a cigarette. You noticed and pulled his hand into your lap. He finally looked at you, and you saw the uncertainty in his eyes. "That kind of killed the mood, didn't it?" he asked, a sad smile on his face. "I should have locked the hatch earlier. I'm sorry." You grabbed the collar of his shirt and pulled him closer to you. "Sanji, please just shut up and kiss me already." His eyes widened, and he closed the distance between you and him, pressing his lips firmly to yours before pulling away. You giggled. "You've never kissed anyone on the lips before, have you?" His cheeks reddened. I haven't," he confessed. Did I do it wrong?" "Technically, I haven't kissed anyone before either, but I've read some of the novels Nami collects." You pulled his tense form back to you slowly, pausing just before reaching his lips and staring steadily into his wide eyes. "Just relax, Sanji," you whispered, and you felt him shiver. Gently, you brought your lips together, breathing his scent in. You opened your mouth slightly and ran your tongue softly against his lips, which parted in response. Several minutes later, the two of you came up for air. I think I love you, Sanji panted. Good, you said, giving him a quick peck on the cheek, because I know I love you.